Well, welcome. It's December. It's about 1 degree at the moment at Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. And a bit earlier there was a frost. Now it's cleared up a little bit, and you can still see it's really misty, but it's not too bad, I suppose. Anyway, today is the day that we play with our new hot water solution, and we'll be able to see how it works, what it is, and take you along on the journey. Thanks for joining.
Well, all right. We're back with Mike. Hello, Mike.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm all right, thanks. You?
Yes.
It's been 2 weeks since our last date.
Yeah, it has actually.
So we've just had a quick look around your air-to-air units that we fitted a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
We'll talk about them separately.
Yeah, let's do that.
But today we're going to talk about your hot water solution.
Yep.
And why you didn't go for heat pump hot water solution, but how you might still go for it later on.
The fact is that we wanted to go down the air-to-air route rather than the air-to-water route, mainly because of the fact that we knew that we'd probably have to change some of the radiators to be larger surface radiators.
Yeah.
And wall spaces at a premium, should we say, for the way that we live.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to increase the size of the radiator, so we went for the air-to-air solution.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I'm so glad that we did.
Yeah. The last 2 weeks, temperatures turned much cooler outside.
Yeah, that's a for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've had 2 weeks using the heating every day.
Yep.
And we'll talk about the energy use a little bit later.
Certainly.
But as far as comfort's concerned?
And we don't really have any code spots or areas in the house. The house is relatively warm, normally around 20-21 degrees throughout the entire house. Although we've only set the units at 19 or 20, we're actually getting much higher values in the house. So that's really good.
Okay.
And we're quite pleased with it. Yeah.
So a recap on the decision you chose to go air-to-air over air-to-water, wall space being an issue, and elderly radiators.
Yep.
And also from a technical perspective, is something that I looked at and spoke with you about, was the fact that you have micro-roll pipework throughout the house.
Yeah, it would have been a bigger job, for sure.
And you've got chipboard tongue groove floors upstairs, so it would have been a big job retrofitting larger bore pipework suitable for an air-to-water heat pump system.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you wanted to be able to make use of the cooling in the summer as well.
Yeah, well, that's the bonus, of course, isn't it?
Yeah, I say to people it's a cherry on the cake.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah. I mean, the fact is that you don't put central heating in to cool your house. So we haven't actually put central heating in. We've put air conditioning in, for want of a better way of putting it. That heats my house as well as cooling my house.
Yeah.
So we've got the best of both worlds, in my opinion.
So that's the space heating covered.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about why you've got this lovely little Rinnai 35 kilowatt continuous flow gas-fired water heater. Now, you wanted to keep your really nice gas-fired range cooker, so losing gas altogether wasn't an option for you currently.
That's correct.
So you're going to need to keep a gas meter, keep paying the standing charge. Your existing indirect water heater could have been run just by the immersion heater, but obviously it would have been really expensive, one-for-one energy.
Yeah.
And you wanted to liberate the space in that cupboard.
That's correct.
As well.
Yes.
So we wanted to come up with a compact and cost-effective solution for your hot water, as and when you may choose to go for the Daikin heat pump hot water cylinder when it becomes available in the UK.
Yep, that's the intention.
Yeah.
In the time being, obviously we needed to have hot water. I wasn't really prepared to run everything on, as you said, on the immersion heater.
Yeah.
So the idea of having something like this particular solution is absolutely fabulous. Not only that, I mean, we all fall for this system where we heat our hot water up to 65 or 70 degrees. Because obviously we're storing it in a tank, so therefore it needs to be a higher temperature for the, I presume, for the Legionnaires and all of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, but we dilute our water down by using a code mixture. So we're throwing away half the energy that we are using to heat the water up in the first place.
Yeah.
when I thought it would be more sensible just to have a heating system for the hot water that would heat the water up to where we needed it, not necessarily past where we need it.
Yeah, so most domestic hot water cylinders are set to 60 degrees,
Yep.
and you'll find that due to stratification, you will end up with a slightly higher temperature in the top of the cylinder.
Yep.
So you're using high temperature to store heating source to heat hot water to a high temperature, only to then dilute it again, which would be fine if you had a small cylinder. But these days, people are fitting 250, 260 or 300 litre cylinders,
Yep.
storing them with full of water at 60, 65 degrees.
And you may only be using 80 litres of it.
Well, exactly. The rule of thumb is 45 litres of hot water a day per person. That's what we would generally work to. Now, in my own case, I've got a Daikin hot water cylinder with a built-in heat pump, and my water's stored at 50 degrees. Once a week, the booster heater cuts in and pasteurises or disinfects the cylinder on an automated cycle. But that water stored at 50 degrees is more than ample, really.
Yeah.
We shower typically around about 40, 42 degrees.
Yep.
Sometimes, I must admit, it'd be nicer to have the water a little bit hotter for washing up, especially if you've got dirty washing up to do. But these days, dishwasher for pretty much everything.
Yeah, exactly.
But we digress. So, yeah, on this occasion, you chose to go for this Rinnai 17i. Now, this is a 35 kilowatt natural gas fired, non-condensing water heater. So it's a continuous flow water heater. It's A-rated efficiency, even though it isn't a condensing appliance. Now, many people won't have heard of Rinnai before. I've come across them in multiple installations. I've come across them installed in holiday yurts, whereby they usually use the external model of this, which is a frost-protected external unit with a small letterbox flue in the front, right the way to the RSPCA use them in their plant rooms. The local Slimbridge RSPCA, they've got 2 of these in 50 kilowatt version. Japanese manufactured heaters. Rinnai make over 12 million appliances worldwide. I think they're absolutely fabulous little things. I've got 2 of them myself in my 8 buildings. They really are great little things. Because they're a direct fired water heater, unlike a combi boiler which has a plate heat exchanger, because they are direct fired, they produce water almost instantaneously. And because they heat water instantly and they've such low water content inside, the standby heat losses when it's not producing hot water, unlike even an insulated hot water cylinder, the standby heat losses from these are very small. So because it's instant firing and it's direct acting, it still receives an A energy rating. Yeah. How have you found it for the last 2 weeks?
It's been fine, to be honest with you. We've set the temperature to 50 degrees, which is really hotter than what we need for showers. So we have to dilute a little bit. But it's also warm enough to do the kitchen duties, if you like, the domestic duties in the kitchen. So for me, that's a happy medium. It does take a little bit of getting used to. Obviously, previous to this, we had 200 litres of hot water that was on demand.
I think yours was a bit larger than that, actually.
It might have been, I'm not sure, but it was a big old tank. So, 3 of us could shower at the same time, and they would be like, oh, were you in the shower as well, type thing. With this, obviously, because it's you don't have that bulk of water, and it's heating it as it's coming through from the mains. 2 people probably is the maximum you could shower at the same time. Not in the same shower, by the way. It's in separate showers. Obviously, you can have as many as you like in the same shower. So the downside there is the fact that it's an economy of scale. I suppose we had bigger water and bigger heater, you could do it, but didn't need it. And we're not wasting hot water, obviously, because it's being produced as we need it, rather than heating up and then cooling down and then heating up again.
I mean, there's something to be said for always having a tank full of hot water, letting a heat pump tick over and do its thing, and that's fine. And the standby heat losses from modern cylinders are very small. But there's also something to be said to have intermittent hot water continuously whenever you need it, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is ready to go. You've got a hectic family life. People are coming and going all the time. Two older boys here at home.
Always got hot water. with this system,
Yeah.
like you have with a hot water tank.
Yeah.
And the difference is that when you've run out of hot water in your hot water tank, you have to wait for it to warm up again.
Yeah.
This one you don't. It's you can literally
Turn the tap on and
turn it
away you
on,
go.
and there you go. Within 30 seconds, you've got piping hot water.
Yeah.
Which is, exactly what we needed, and it's proving at this point in time to have been a really good investment.
Yeah. Well, talking of investment, the most important thing really for a lot of people is going to be the price. Now, a good quality heat pump hot water cylinder, such as the Valent Arrow Store or the Daikin, when it does become available in the UK, is currently going to be around about £2,500.
Okay.
The cost of this heater, £550. Now, that's
Plus the install.
plus the installation. And installation work probably less than putting in a heat pump cylinder.
Yeah, and that's at today's prices. Obviously, that if we're watching this in a year's time, it might be a slightly more expensive.
Yeah. We're suffering big inflation issues in the UK right now, and people are, I think there's a lot of profiteering going on as well, so prices are a little bit all over the place. But interestingly, the Rinnai products haven't gone up in the last year, which is fantastic. But yeah, £550.
Yep.
That's a lot of efficiency in hot water over the years you've got to save to cover the difference of £550 to £2,500, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think you're going to be quite happy to persevere along with this for now.
Yep.
And maybe look at a heat pump cylinder or a split heat pump cylinder later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
It's great. I'm really happy with the install, and actually the hot water system's been faultless.
Yeah. Well, thanks very much, Mike. Do you mind if we go outside and have a look at your energy consumption and
let's
look
go.
at those? Let's have a look at the energy usage of this unit. So this thing's been running for 2 weeks now, 14 days. Let's get the cover open. And it's used 71 kilowatt hours. And the second unit, this one's been running 15 days. And this one has used 119 kilowatt hours. Oh, it's blooming parky out there, isn't it? It's really brisk.
Yes, I had to snap my dog off the lamppost this morning.
Did you? All right, so some quick maths then. I've just looked at the energy usage in accordance with what you pay for your unit price of electricity.
Yep.
And currently you are on the standard rate tariff, as many people in the UK are, which is 34 pence per kilowatt hour.
That's correct.
Or roughly thereabouts. So the smaller 3-port unit has used 71 kilowatt hours of electrical energy, and that equates to, over its running period of 14 days, £1.72 a day. The other unit has used slightly more, but that's a 4-port unit, and does more of the reception rooms area.
Yep.
And that one's used £2.69 a day.
Yep.
Now, the total combined then for your heating is £4.41 a day.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad. And that is during cold weather.
Yeah.
We're talking the last week of November and the first week of December.
Absolutely.
So overall, I don't know about you, but I think that's...
Yeah, that's pretty cock on, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, if we went back 12 months, when the price of electricity was 12 pence per unit,
yeah,
right, you got to look at it in that respect. So in normal times, should we say, this would be costing less than £2 a day.
Yeah.
To heat a house.
Yeah.
Going back to the same period, looking at a previous bill, we were spending £4 a day on gas to heat the same house.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's half the bills, because we're still playing. Okay, there are some days when we're still putting the temperature in the house up to 23, 24 degrees. Sometimes we're going, oh, that's too hot, let's take it down. So we're still trying to find that happy medium. But given we're 15 days in reality in right now, happy as a pig in the proverbial.
All right, well, look on the bright side. Energy's really expensive right now at 34 pence. But, it might just come back down again to those levels. But when have you ever known anything come back down to the price it was originally?
That's true.
So on that note, I think it's time to end.
Yep.
Thanks very much, Mike.
No, thank you.
See you again next time.
That was that smiley face, did you know? The reality is, it works. And you can't ask fairer than that. Thanks for watching.